Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. Well, hello everyone. I'm so glad you are here. It's Tuesday, and you know what that means? We are live. Now, we're having a little printer mishap, so I might be toggling back and forth and not seeing you the whole time, but close my door, please. Thank you. Sorry. That's my husband. You know, he comes and he's trying to be helpful. He's trying to help me, but I have to have the door closed. That's how I roll on these days. Anyway, so Jocelyn and Alice, so good to see you. What a day. What a day. Because let me just tell you, so Mark had his colonoscopy this morning, and you know what the doctor said? He had the healthiest colon he's seen in a long time. And so, you know what Mark's crediting that? You know what he is? Bacon. Of course he is. That's just how he rolls. Anyway, we laughed a lot about that. But I'm happy he's healthy and, 10 years. He's 69, so we'll see him when he's 79. Can you believe that? That's pretty darn good. Hey there, Lynn. Good to have you here. Who else is here? I know that people are coming in here. I see all the numbers here. And the things that, let me just share a couple of things that are going on here. You're going to get to meet, if you are coming to our retreat, the next chapter, you are going to get to meet some of my pickleball girls. They're coming, y'all. I'm so excited about that. If you don't know the details and you want to know, I hope you do anyway, go to savingdinner.com/retreat and check it out. The closer we get, the more excited I am. And, I am just all about making sure that this is the most incredible, life-changing event you've ever been to. Rhonda and I have been going back and forth, and all I can say is be still my beating heart. That's all. Virginia, hello. It's so good to have you here. So that's, part of the excitement of the things that are happening here. And that retreat, I know it's just right before Thanksgiving. It's probably not the best date in the entire world, but this is what we have. We have a smaller venue, meaning we are going to have a smaller amount of people that we can let in. And I'm going to say we're probably about halfway full right now. So if this is something that you've been thinking about, airfares in mid-November aren't bad. So check that out. There's all kinds of cute Airbnbs and, of course, the little Sunset Motel and what have you. It's going to be at my house here on the lake, and it's also going to be at the barn, which is also a venue right here in Conisty Falls. I couldn't be more excited, you guys. I really couldn't be more excited. This is just one of those things that, and pinkies up if you know what I'm talking about. Have you ever done something that kind of takes your breath away, that makes you think, oh yes, this is exactly it. This is the thing that I have been thinking about and dreaming about since I turned 60 in 2018. This is it. And here we are doing it. And I'm doing it with my dear friend Rhonda, and I can't hold on to myself anymore. So check it out at savingdinner.com/retreat. And listen, if you can't be here, you can certainly come to the virtual event. We are going to have a virtual event. And if you are coming in, going to be here in person, I just have to say, you get to meet Jenny. You get to meet my daughter, Caroline, and possibly Sam, her husband. You get to meet Mark, right? These are the people I talk about, and they'll be here because they're all super supportive and wonderful. So, I'm just kind of delighted about that. The other thing that you need to know is that we have our supplement of the week is Drop. This is a research backed natural product for dropping your blood sugar. And it really does work. Here are the things you need to know. Every ingredient in it helps you and helps your body to metabolize sugar better. And it also is really important that, well, of course, if you are just like eating great big gobs of sugar, there's nothing that's going to help you. You know that. But if you've found yourself just a little prone to sugar spikes and what have you, this supplement can really help. Also, fiber can really help. Also, making sure that you have your protein in, of course, can really help. I can help you with those parts. But if your body is just naturally spiky, with those sugar spikes, this product is excellent. There's several ingredients in there. You need to check it out. But here's the best part. If you buy one, I'm going to give you 2 for free. And the reason that I'm doing this is because the holidays are coming, number one. And listen, I just want you to behave yourself like 80% of the time. And the rest of the time, I want you to enjoy it. I want you to pig out. I don't want you to make yourself crazy. I don't want to put you back on the roller coaster of, the carousel of crazy. But I do want you to enjoy it, of course. Let's kind of temper down those sugar spikes. I mean, it's nutty. It's crazy, right? So buy one, get one free. You can find that, but buy one, get 2 for free, right? It's a great deal. savingdinner.com/show. It's there for you. Take back your holidays. Now, I just got my copy finally. I shouldn't say finally. We just ordered it. It's pretty quick. Take Back the Holidays is our love the crazy, lose the crazy, and keep the joy. And it's a holiday planner that gives you a lot of options to help you to plan out your holidays in a way that works for you. This is not, let me just say this. I don't have a methodology here, but you get to create it here yourself. I have some great, self-care stuff in here because oftentimes we lose ourselves over the holidays. This is everything, and it's big. You can order from Lulu. This is we're using this company now to just order as we need instead of ordering these big bulks and having all these leftover stuff. Just order as you need. You purchase it, and then you have an option to get look at this. Look at this. Is this not gorgeous? Let me just give you an idea. So, in December, look, that's a page. And you've got wellness trackers in here and water things so that you don't forget about who you are. Listen, Queen, if you are going to be the queen of your own life and not just give up and default to crazy, then you need to take care of yourself. That's part of the equation. And these are just little reminders on how you can do it. There's easy decor tips for Thanksgiving in here. There's places to write down traditions that you can remember. And I didn't think about this, and I am now. This could be a legacy. This could be something that you hand down to your child. These are the traditions in our home. This is how I handle the holidays. What a cool thing. I think so. Anyway, find it at savingdinner.com/planner. All the details are there, and you will love it. And by the way, you can also just get it digital and print it off as you want and like hand select what it is that you want from it. It's up to you, but I wanted the whole shoot and match, and I'm just thrilled with this. And I know a lot of you are because we talked about it in our Hot Melt Sprint group. I also wanted to let you know, what else did we have going on? The next chapter I told you about, the next Sprint webinar is next Monday. Because we're going to do it again in November. Yes, we are. This is going to be pretty much, I think we will do a December one, but it's getting to, oh my gosh, how are we losing this year? Hey, Carol. Hi, Diane. And I think I saw somebody else. Patsy's in the house. Patsy, look. I was showing Patsy did this too. She had hers. all done up. Anyway, so the webinar is on Monday, and all I can say is come to the webinar on Monday and just kind of gear up and get your brain around what it is that you want to do, because that's basically what it is that we do. We make things happen. We make things happen when we are aware and when we're noticing, oh, this doesn't quite go with this, and oh, I'm educated about this, and I've learned on repeat, because you've been to so many webinars, how it all works, right? savingdinner.com/sprint webinar. That's how you can sign up, and that's the only way you can go. See, Patsy said she loves hers. Of course she does. It's so much fun. Now, this week's quote of the week. Everyone has inside of him a piece of good news. The good news is that you don't, I can't see it. The good news is that you don't know how great you can be, how much you can love, what you can accomplish, and what and what your potential is. That's Anne Frank. And you know what? This isn't like the greatest quote in the world, but when you consider the source, it's pretty epic. We all know Anne Frank's story. We all read that story as a child, Diary of a Young Girl. And we all learned from it. And that's all I'm saying is just lean into this. If she was 14 at the time, could say this, what can we say about our lives? And we're living in kind of ideal conditions in comparison, right? Anyway, okay, so let's get on with today's show. And I'm not going to be able to respond to you as well as I usually do when we're having our show. Usually I have printed notes in front of me. Today I do not. Today I'm going to be using my screen, and I just want you to know that I still see you, and I will come and join you after, but I just want to share with you about this, because I felt it was kind of a cosmic 2x4 for me, because I've been getting this email for, I'm going to say a good 8 years, and it's messages from the universe. I think it is. And, I remember when I first signed up for it, I was like, ooh, I hate it when people don't talk about God as being the universe, because the universe and God are two different things, blah, 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 blah. And I'm still not really keen on making that swap, if you will. But I'm also not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And that's why I want to share what was in my inbox. And this is what it said. Be there, Leanne. Go there now and never leave. Imagine that your dreams have already come true. Live your life from that mindset. Predicate your behavior on that reality, not the illusions that now surround you. Filter every thought, question, and answer from there. Let your focus shift and be born again. Because dwelling from, not upon, the space you want to inherit is the fastest way to change absolutely everything. And we talk about this, but I thought this was done in such a good, succinct manner. I thought this was so beautifully stated, because it's dwelling from that place and not upon it that we get to inherit the things that we absolutely want in this life. And I believe that includes the purpose that we have, the goals that we want, the dreams that we have for what our future looks like, what our families look like, whatever it is that we are trying to parse together and put together in our little world. To me, this was a cosmic 2x4, because this holds the keys to unlocking everything. And you remember, old keys don't open new locks. And when you have this idea and these notions in your head, this dream, this purpose, these goals, and you're trying to follow them using the same old ways that you always did, you'll get the same old thing that you always did. And so sometimes we need that cosmic 2x4. Sometimes we need to imagine that, it can be different. Can you imagine what if? Those are questions that I love to answer. And when I'm asking that, it's prompting my creativity. It's prompting me to think of something different, and it's steering me away from problem and into solution. And I saw there's a guy named Myron Golden. I don't know if you've ever seen Myron Golden, but he's pretty good. He's an incredible teacher. He teaches business lessons, and he uses the gospel a lot, and Bible, lots of everything. And he's just so succinct. And what he says is we can live our lives from anxiety or from anticipation. When we live our lives from anxiety, and he said, what is anxiety except worry with a little bit more on it? And anticipation is the expectation of what could possibly be. I just love that. And that wove itself into what we're talking about today and then this was in my inbox, and I just went, that's for me. I need to hear this. If I need to hear this, I bet there's somebody else that needs to hear this. So what if, let's imagine for a minute that you have this moment where everything you've ever wanted, the dreams that you've scribbled out in your journal and your board, your goals, everything that you've had already come true. If your dream life was your reality, right? I have a girlfriend whose dream life would be being a published poet. That's a tough road to hoe, but guess what? It's hoeable. It's hoeable because that's her dream. And when we are focused on the dream, the imagination works for us on our behalf to bring ideas into fruition. Those ideas then become actual goals and to-do lists and things that happen. And then your dream life starts to form into a reality. So now the part of it is like you're saying, okay, so that's really cool, but what do I do? So it's back to that place of living from that type of a mindset, as if the future that you desire is right now. So let's talk about that, because it's living from your dreams and not toward them, which sounds kind of weird, because I think living from your dreams simply means that you are assuming that identity to do it, right? That you are that person. You are that woman that owns that little knitting shop. You are that woman who has published poetry. You are that woman. What would she be doing every day? What would she be doing every day? And if the toward them is saying, well, I'm just thinking about it, I'm wishing about it, I'm dreaming about it, and you're thinking, wouldn't it be nice if? And there's really not a whole lot of action toward it. Because when you're living from your dreams, you are creating the things that need to happen with it. Does that make sense? So we strive, we work, and you know what? This is also, we've talked about this before, the gap that we've talked about, right? Where this is what you want and this is where you are. We've got to build the bridge. This is what we're talking about today. To create the future that you want, we live it today, which seems really bizarre, but it's assuming the identity of the woman that you want to be and doing things that that woman would do. If that woman is fit, if that woman is has 10 pounds less on her or whatever, go through the list of all your goals, then start doing some of them. Now, obviously, if it's like this woman is driving around in a brand new, fill in the blank type of a car, and that's just not in your checking account at the moment, well, you can always go out and test drive something, right? And just say, one of these days I'm going to be in this car. That's going to happen. I just need to prepare myself. I need to smell it. I need to feel it. I need to touch it. I shared with you, how many times about my dream house, this one being here, and what it looked like on my vision board were two different things. However, they both had the dock and the water and the house on the water, right? And I would go with Mark to test drive, if you will, and look at houses no way we could afford. But it didn't matter because I got the taste of what would it be like to live in a house where this was my reality. This is what it feels like. This is the wind hitting my face. This is me trying it on. So if we're to build that gap, we have to take a mindset shift and stop constantly striving for this distant future and start living as though that future is already here. And that removes us from wishful thinking and puts us into a place of being reprogrammed. Do you get me on this? Wishful thinking puts us in a place of want, puts us in a place of just, oh, it must be nice and it's hard and I wish. Whereas if we reprogram, we think, what if I did this? And can you imagine if this happened? And I can see myself doing this. I'm going to go test drive that car. I'm going to go feel what it feels like. I'm going to touch the leather. I'm going to smell the interior of that car. I'm going to feel how it feels to drive it on the highway. Because if we do this, we're dwelling from that place, not upon it. And that is the space that we want to inherit. It's a subtle but profound shift. It's going from here over into here. So what we have to do then is remember that as we're shifting, it's not just mindset. It's your thoughts, it's your actions, it's your emotions. And all of that stuff begins to align with the life you want. Now, listen to me. I know about this emotional stuff. It was when I started to apply the emotions of what it would feel like to be standing on a deck looking out at this water. I mean, this has been a dream of mine for I don't even know how many years. That I got emotional about it. But what I wanted to do was to fall into wishful thinking about it. But I stayed with the emotion. I stayed with changing some thoughts out. And I stayed with a lot of action because all of a sudden I had all these ideas. How does that happen? That's just how God works in your brain when you give room for that kind of stuff to percolate. So you have to filter your thoughts, obviously, right? And one of the ways that you could do this is just wake up in the morning and say to yourself, what would I do today if I already had the success I dreamed of? What would I do? For Lynn, for example, she's a personal trainer. I don't know what I know she's got clients and all that, but what if she had this big dream to start this huge company and train trainers in her method and all of this? What would her day look like if she did that? She'd be probably doing a lot of the same things, but shifting slightly into a different success pattern to help build for that future. And then you can say to yourself, like, okay, well, part of my goals is, I really want to drop this 10 pounds. So how would you act today if you were at that place of being the healthiest, most vibrant version of yourself? What would you do today? Would you put yourself off and say, tomorrow, I'll start tomorrow? Or would you get that blender out and start making your Target Trifecta smoothie? Would you get your supplements out? Would you plan for the exercise that you're going to do for the day and get to bed at a decent time? Would you start thinking in those terms? And then even in your relationships, how would you show up if the love that you wanted has been there all along? That's something. How would you treat that relationship? How would you treat that person? And why I'm saying all of this and why I'm asking you to put this kind of questioning into your thinking is because these are the questions that make you take action. And you stop waiting for the permission to live your dream life. You stop waiting for external validation. You stop waiting for the financial windfall or the perfect moment. And instead, you live the mindset of already having it. And then things start to line up weirdly. Because oftentimes we get stuck with the how, and I don't know how that will work. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Instead of just doing and letting the how show up, because it always does. I promise you, when I was out looking at houses. Mark thought I was nuts. And I begged him. I said, just entertain me. Just make me happy and just take me to this thing. And just, when, my back is to you, you could just kind of go, oh, she's a little bit, that's fine. I don't care. And maybe I am a little delulu. I'm okay with that. But let me have this, because this feeds the mindset that's going to get me there. And case in point, it did. So there's power in focusing on this desired state. Because when you focus on what you already want rather than what you don't want, your energy shifts dramatically. And when you dwell from the space of your desired reality, your focus shifts, your behavior follows suit, and you notice the actions you are taking are different. The people you interact, you might have new people in your life that all of a sudden just show up miraculously. And suddenly opportunities that weren't there before are, because you are beginning to get in alignment with this new mindset. Isn't this the coolest thing? So this is a practice and it's a form. And believe me, I've looked this up. This is a form of being born again in a psychological sense, because your mind is renewed. And guess what? A renewed mind is the fastest way to transform your external reality. And you know why? It's because the outside world is a reflection of your inner state. What you're seeing is an outward reflection of your inner state. That's the only thing that you're noticing. But when you flick on your reticular activating system and you put out there different things that you want to look for, you start to see your capabilities. You start to see your own abundance. You start to see that your energy is able to meet this challenge of changing things up. I hope you're just popping out your seams, because I am. Now, honestly, this doesn't mean that you're going to ignore the reality around you and like go buy something that's just well outside of your means. But it does mean that you're filtering reality through the lens of where you're going rather than where you are. And that's the important part. That focus on being rather than becoming shifts everything in your world. Because guess what? You can be and become at the same time. So here's the thing. Mindset creates action. And the beauty of this shift that we're talking about is that it leads to real tangible action. It's not pie in the sky, pipe dreams. It's real tangible action, because what would this woman that you are becoming and that you are being do? Great questions. So when you're taking, you start to act from a place of already being the person you want to be, you start to take the kinds of actions that person would take, right? So if you want to build a successful business, you start acting as if you're already the successful entrepreneur you want to be. And this influences your decisions, your confidence, and even the people that you surround yourself with. And I will tell you, what you need will show up. And it's the fastest way to change everything. And that, to me, is the magic that happens when we stop dreaming of our future and start living from it. So make that decision. The future you want to have is already yours if only you will say, it's mine. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to start stepping into that and start becoming that woman. And as you're becoming it, also believe that you are her. You have that strength. It's incredible. And I will tell you, I had so many stories that I wanted to tell you, but it didn't happen today. Remind me next Tuesday, I'm going to tell you the story about the feather. It'll blow you away. If you're on my TikTok, you'll already know it's there. But this is manifestation, but it's also you taking responsibility for your life and for your dreams and for everything it is that you want in your life. Life gets really yummy when we start to do this kind of fun stuff. All right. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed that show. And I will tell Mark, you all said, glad you're colonoscopy worked out so well. I'm sure he's loving that I'm telling everybody about it. If you missed any of today's announcements, for heaven's sakes, go to savingdinner.com/announcements. And can I just make a shout out? If you're thinking about the retreat, get on it. 3 seats sold yesterday. They're starting to sell. They're starting to sell. And I want you there. I want you here as much as possible, otherwise virtually. savingdinner.com/retreat. Hey, Diane. So good to see you. I'll see you next week. And remember, if you ever need anything, just reach out to me, support@savingdinner.com. I appreciate you all, each one of you. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.